Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm your host of Around the Horn, Ray Flowers. Happy Friday, everyone. It's not just a great Friday. We don't just have baseball. We don't just have the weekend coming up. We've also got the opportunity for you to get a chance to win part of a $1 million prize package from Fanduel.com. You can read all about it, above this little video here. All the description of how you sign up. You get in there, you can turn $10 into part of the $1 million prizes. The grand prize winner gets $200,000. The top qualifiers get a free trip to Las Vegas. Everything expenses paid, food, hotel rooms, all of that, thanks to FanDuel.com. So everyone, I encourage you to check it out. Again, all the information is right above me. And here are some names for those of you that are going to take advantage of that. And even if you're not going to take advantage of that, here are some names from players that you want to have in and potentially out of your lineup on Friday. What is it, April 12th? I think it's April 12th. First off, let's start with David Murphy. David Murphy's had a very strong season. He's playing almost every day for the Rangers, hitting fifth most of the time, getting an opportunity to be that everyday player that he hasn't to this point. He's got a great matchup today. He's facing Vance Worley, who he literally has hit .667 against, 10 hits and 15 at bats. You want to have him active in your daily lineup. Carlos Beltran and Ty Wigginton both have had a lot of success against Kyle Loesch. Ty Wigginton, 8 for 18, that's a .444 batting average, a cheap play today in a daily game. NL-only leaguers especially, got to have him active in your lineup today. And then in the case of Beltran, .564 batting average and 39 at-bats. 22 hits and 39 at-bats. He absolutely owns them. 4 home runs, 5 steals, an OPS of over 1,600. You're bonkers if you own Carlos Beltran and he's not active. And if you're in a daily league, that's the guy that I would spend to get in the lineup. Adam Jones, CC Sabathia. Adam Jones has been great this season. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball. He's hitting over .450 right now, doing all kinds of things for Orioles. Against CC Sabathia, 341 with 3 home runs in 41 at-bats. A lot of success in that matchup, righty versus lefty. Now a couple names of guys that are on the cheap. These are probably, well, not probably, these are guys you're not starting in a mixed league unless you're in really bad shape. League specific, okay. But in daily leagues, when the value of a player is so dependent upon the cost, 3 names here that you really want to pay attention to. First one is Placido Polanco. Yeah, that middle of the order threat for the Marlins that huge a lot of success against John Lennon. 7 for 17 in his career. That's a .429 batting average. Reed Johnson versus Ross Detweiler. Johnson always does well against lefties. That's really why he's got a job in the big league. 6 for 12. It's only 12 at bats, but 6 for 12, a .500 batting average for Reed Johnson. And then finally, Ramon Santiago against Bartolo Colon. I don't know how Bartolo Colon is still in the big leagues either, folks. But he's 11 for 21. Santiago is off of Colon. That's over 500. 11 for 21. Those 3 guys, Santiago, Johnson, Polanco, cheap plays you should have in your lineup today. Finally, 5 names, actually, I can't even count. 5 names of guys that have big names that you may not want to have active in a daily fantasy league. April12 versus Bud Norris. 5 for 26, doesn't have a home run, hitting under 200 against Bud Norris. Not a guy that has a lot of success. April12, consider sitting him. Martin Prado, yeah, his average dipped a little bit. He's hitting in the 270s right now. Hasn't really taken off with his new club in Arizona. Probably not going to start tonight either. He's facing Clayton Kershaw, who he has 1 for 15 against in his career. Pass on Martin Prado. Shin-Soo Choo. AJ Burnett. Lots of syllables there. Bottom line is Burnett owns Choo. 3 hits and 18 at-bats for Choo. Moved from the outfielder of the Reds. Andrew McCutchen. Hard to sit him. Superstar, fantasy, home runs, steals, batting average, all that. And he's facing Mike Leake, which on the surface looks like a good thing. Really not, though. 200 batting average for Andrew McCutchen in 30 at-bats against Mike Leake. For whatever reason, doesn't have a lot of success there. And then finally, Torrey Hunter versus Bartolo Colon. 241 batting average in 58 at-bats. That's a lot of work. So, again, Torrey Hunter, not someone you want active. And then finally, beyond all the daily stuff, and again, don't forget to go to FanDuel.com, get all the information, the links, and all that so you can join and get your chance to win that grand prize of $200,000 in that trip to Las Vegas. Wanted to touch on the situation with the Dodgers and the Padres real quickly. Carlos Quentin gets hit. Now, Carlos Quentin is always getting hit. He's been hit 116 times in his career. Last night was the first time he decided to charge him out after being hit. He's been hit 97 times the last 5 seasons, most in baseball. He's been hit 40 times the last 2 years. Most in baseball. The bottom line is he crowds the plate, and pitchers know they've got to get inside against him, because if they leak it out over the plate, he's going to hit it hard. So what happens? He gets hit in a 1-run game with the full count in the 6th inning. Zach Greinke wasn't trying to hit him there. He's not trying to put tying and go-ahead runs on base. That's ridiculous. But Quentin got angry, charged the mound. Greinke did a very good thing when Quentin charged the mound. He turned his body so that his left shoulder would take the impact of the charge from Quentin, so they protected his throwing arm. But in so doing, he injured his clavicle, and he's going to be out for weeks. 4 to 6 weeks is the early estimate. He's out for months. He could miss upwards of 40, 50 games this season, a quarter of the year probably gone for Zach Greinke. What's going to happen to Carlos Quentin with this totally unprovoked, totally unnecessary charge? And what, he gets suspended for 5 games, 6 games, maybe something like that, maybe 10 if Major League Baseball goes crazy. We might have to look into this, and this is just a suggestion from me. If there's a fight that occurs in this situation, Carlos Quentin, unprovoked, basically charging the mound and going after Zach Greinke, if player A hurts player B, if Quentin hurts Greinke, why don't we have Quentin sit on the sidelines as long as Greinke's out? Just a thought. Carlos Quentin goes, damages the Dodgers' chance to make the playoffs, damages Zach Greinke to the point he misses a quarter of the season, and he misses a week while Greinke misses a quarter of the season. Doesn't really seem fair to me. Terrible situation for baseball. Greinke looked like he was going to be fine after having the arm load. People were getting a great bargain that drafted him later in draft because of that. Turns out it's not going to work at all for Zach Greinke. He's going to be out for the next quarter of the season because of the actions of Carlos Quentin. I'm Ray Flowers, BaseballGuys.com. Thanks for joining me on Around the Horn. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you all again soon.